All right, guys, we just ended a college football Saturday in which a lot of teams are still alive. This is one of the great weeks of the sporting calendar, especially with college football, especially with Thanksgiving. Want to wish everybody an early Thanksgiving. I think probably the best holiday out there. It's Christmas time for sure. But the fact is you have turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and Thanksgiving football, but you also have coaching hot seat season, and it's never fun to see coaches lose their jobs. Coaches do get opportunities, though, so it's bittersweet because you're happy for the guys that get their opportunities. And right now at Boise State, Andy Avalos was just not getting it done at Boise State, and this report came out yesterday. All right, guys, you should stay updated with the channel here, updated with Slaughterhouse Sports, because we're going to be trying to cover this, as momentarily as we can. We're going to be tracking this pretty much, scurrying through the news and trying to bring you guys what people are saying and try to connect breaking news here and try to analyze decisions that are happening in real time. Boise State right now, very exciting for them. They got 3 coaching candidates that they're going through, and one is the Moore or 2 is from the Moore family, Kellen Moore and Kirby Moore. I believe that Kirby Moore also played at Boise State. We all know, well, I know about Kellen Moore. The average person that follows football should know about Kellen Moore. Probably the winningest quarterback maybe of all time at Boise State, threw for like 50 touchdown passes, one of the most efficient college quarterbacks of all time at Boise State, legendary left-handed quarterback, then just considered just a genius with the whiteboard. Kellen Moore draws up plays, was a quarterback coach for Dak Prescott, with Jason Garrett the final years, and then was elevated to offensive coordinator with Mike McCarthy. They put up really good numbers. Then they couldn't get over the hump. He still had a pretty successful offense, and now in LA with the Chargers, they're a 500 team. Their defense is pretty poor. They're losing a ton of close games, but the offense still happens to be rolling. He's operating NFL offenses at a pretty high clip. I mean, Kellen Moore, to me, one of the brightest coaches in all of football. I even think he could be up for head coaching jobs. If I was an NFL owner, I would look at Kellen Moore for an NFL job. But of course, Boise State and the Mountain West should do their due diligence and reach out to Kellen Moore. Now, does Kellen Moore, want to stay in the NFL? Because I think that he's a pretty hot commodity. He leads one of the best offenses in the NFL. But is he going to be up for an NFL head coaching gig at the age of, 35? He's going to have to beat out the likes of Dan Quinn, Mike McDonald, several other coaches, Ben Johnson. So, I mean, if you stay around in the NFL, there's no guarantee that you're going to get hired. And then I think he met his wife at Boise. He's from Prosser, Washington, which is right on the Idaho border. And Boise State's been home to Kellen Moore. Obviously, his brother would probably be welcomed as the offensive coordinator on staff. So, I mean, this is your chance to come back and coach your alma mater. It's a pretty big deal. He was a finalist 3 years ago for the job. He's done nothing to stunt his forward momentum here in terms of Kellen Moore and Boise. It would be an absolute home run. We say that a lot, and sometimes you can get it wrong, like Scott Frost or Justin Fuente. I also thought those were home run hires, but Kellen Moore, with his expertise in offense at the NFL level, for him to come and coach the Mountain West Conference, I think that they could take over the Mountain West, and they can maybe be a team that is maybe attractive to like a Big 12 if they really grow it at Boise State, continue to get back to where they were maybe like 8 years ago. I think that they can do it. We'll see about NIL, but Boise State should be atop the Mountain West, and Kellen Moore should be priority one. If not for Kellen Moore, his brother Kirby is pretty dang good as well. His brother Kirby was at Fresno State, I think maybe even with DeBoer, I know with Jeff Tedford, and now the guy is at Missouri, and he's a large part of their success that they've had with Corey Schrader, Luther Burden, and Brady Cook, the quarterback there. Kirby Moore is a rising star as an offensive coach, and I think that he's a really good coordinator. He would definitely fit in at Boise. I'd actually go Kirby Moore second, and then third is Bryan Harsin. Bryan Harsin, I alluded to 7 or 8 years ago. Bryan Harsin was there about like 5-6 years ago, was leading Boise State to successful 9-win seasons, successful 8, 9, 10-win seasons. Family knows Boise really well. Would be a pretty solid hire. You know exactly what you're getting with Harsin. He is very much involved in the search. I think Harsin really wants the job, but both Kellen and Kirby Moore, to me, are going to be higher priorities, likely, and I would try to get Kellen Moore. I would try to get that offense. I mean, you looked at Harsin at Auburn. He left for Auburn, and then the offense at Auburn, it just was kind of the program wasn't run well at all. Coordinators were, leaving the program, recruiting was down, and then Bo Nix, you didn't get the best out of Bo Nix, obviously. It was a disappointing tenure at Auburn, objectively speaking. But, coming back to Boise again is a place he knows where to win. So he is definitely in contention. So those 3 names are definitely out there in terms of Boise State. But guys, stay tuned for, some more updates likely coming on the channel, and we'll see. We'll try to keep this thing rolling here on Slaughterhouse Sports. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot, watching the video and commenting. Again, I'm very appreciative of anybody and everybody who watches the videos and can take part in Slaughterhouse Sports and takes part in the great sport that is college football. Thanks, guys. All right, take care.